Hi, my dear fellow fan friends, J-Cat here. Welcome to part 2 of Superman, Smallville Theory on the Fortress of Solitude. Now we see Clark Kent go into the Fortress of Solitude in the Superman movie, asking, "Who am I?" But as Jor-El was going through his talks, telling him who he was, I noticed these crystals that were ancient technology of aliens. Who knows what that technology did to Clark when he was standing there for 12 years, but I think Smallville fills in the gaps. He was never really in Smallville, but during his trials, the crystals made him believe that, because he was raised by humans. And as you know, humans are a little slower when it's learning superpowers and everything, so he had to be trained from the beginning. You know, like a little kid learning for the first time how to walk and stuff. Clark Kent had to learn how to walk before he could fly. So step by step, he had to learn his abilities. He had to learn what it means to be a Kryptonian as well as a human and learn how to accept both halves of himself. He had to learn how to overcome his dark side, because face it, since he was raised by humans, all humans have a dark side. But in order to learn how to fly, he had to overcome that, like he did in Smallville. If you notice, in the movies Christopher Reeve was in, Clark didn't fly until the last moment of Jor-El's training, and he stood there for 12 years. I think, though, that's when the timeline of Smallville was actually going on. Because even though he was standing there, maybe to him he wasn't there at all, but maybe he thought he was still in Smallville, learning his trials, because in his mind, that's where he was, in Smallville. And think about it, Smallville's not a usual town, with all the Kryptonian supernatural things going on. Like Jim Jor-El at the end of Smallville said, these were his trials, these were his tests. Seize your destiny, my son. He flew and defeats Darkseid, but this is where it cuts off into the Christopher Reeve detail, where Christopher Reeve flew to Metropolis. I believe this story is a connection. May the Force be with you, my dear fellow fan friends, until next time.